Are you a sales professional or an entrepreneur trying to figure out what actually works when it comes to moving the needle in 2025? If so, you're going to want to stick around and check out this video as I dive in with a sales professional who just started with a new company, and we're going to use AI to create a sales strategy that puts her in the top 1%. Come check it out. So today on the Gen X Network, we have a Gen X business owner that is joining us today, and she is looking for us to create a strategy, a sales strategy with a sales cadence for her new line of business, which is essentially selling supplemental insurance to B2B business owners. She's with Colonial Life, and they are offering some leads. What I absolutely love about this business model is she's actually in a location and targeting businesses in her community. So we're going to create a strategy and a cadence that mixes a little bit of old school, but also a whole lot of new school. So we're going to use AI to create the strategy and get some ideas, but we're going to create a cadence that incorporates connecting with them on LinkedIn, sending them emails, as well as a field day where Natasha gets to go out and actually connect on a heart-to-heart level. Because as much as I love technology, the number one thing that works right now is being in front of a person. And that's why I love about this business model, Natasha. I love that it's not just virtual and you're reaching out to people all over, the 52 states, that it's very specific to a certain region, which allows you to really establish that thought ownership in that region as the expert on supplemental insurance. So where I like to start whenever I create a strategy is I like to start with research. So I'm going to share my screen with you because I want you to see how juicy this is. I think you already realize from being in insurance for a while, Natasha and I go way back, but
Yes,
I
we
want
do.
you to, the opportunity with B2B, I think is massive because who wants to be in PNC insurance sales right now, especially like in places like California or, where they're just completely getting out of the business. So I'm going to share my screen and we're going to go into, let's see here. So I'm going to start with Storm. Have you ever heard of Storm?
I have not. This is new.
Awesome. So Storm is essentially, here we go. It's free and it is a Stanford database. So we're going to look at all the research from these academic resources. And let's
Okay.
put in today I would like to do research on companies offering supplemental insurance, the benefits, um, let's see here, supplemental, the benefits, the pain it solves, and why right now.
That's the
Oh,
connection.
okay, the pain it solves. So we're going to just start there. It gives us, so Storm is a little limited in that you can only put so many things, but that's okay because this is just the first one. So I'm going to put this in here, but while we're doing this, so we're going to put sales strategy as the purpose, submit. We're also going to go into Perplexity and tell me if you cannot see what I'm doing. Perplexity AI, have you heard of this one?
Yeah, I've played around with Perplexity when I was posting consistently on LinkedIn.
Perfect. So here we're going to ask, please research the value of supplemental insurance, or rather of offering supplemental insurance to employees and the benefit to both the owner and the team. Okay, so what Perplexity is going to do is it's going to give us a ton of resources, cited
Awesome.
sources. All right, so let's go see what is happening So this takes a little while. So this is what we call deep research. A lot of people are used to Chat GPT where it's like instant. When we're dealing with deep research, it does take a few minutes because it's scouring everything right now. And same thing with Perplexity. But you can see here, we already have 14 sources. So all of these sources, like Natasha, help employers understand the upside of offering supplemental. It's from Nationwide. The key
Okay.
benefit of offering supplemental insurance to employees, why supplemental insurance is valuable. So, like, here are all the sources. So, now what we're going to do is we're going to simply take the summary. Okay, here it is, all of that. Okay, so I'm going to copy this
Okay.
and I'm going to go into ChatGPT and go into my custom GPT, which is specifically for sales.
Okay.
Log in here. Have you ever, so what we're doing right now is actually called AI stacking. It's using various AI tools together. So that way,
Mhm.
when we get to what we want, it's very well researched. And we've literally done like months of research in just a few minutes.
Love,
All
love, love,
right.
love.
Yay. Okay, so we're going to pull up the Rainmaker copywriter because this is trained for sales copy specifically. And I'm simply going to paste this in. Okay, so I pasted in the summary from Perplexity. I'm going to delete that. And now I'm going to go to Storm. Okay, so that's still taking a little time. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to tell it to take this and I kind of got to paste the other one. Take all of this research. And let's start by creating an ideal target market analysis. Analysis, sound familiar? And
Mhm.
ideal client persona that my client can target and sell supplemental insurance to. Did they give you any industries or anything? Ideal companies have how many employees?
Beginning, I'm gonna say as little as 10, as much as 300.
10 to 300.
I'd like to focus on the 10 to 50 area,
Okay.
because going that high, that could take 6 months to a year, when
To
we're
get
talking.
approval. You're
Yeah.
right. I love that. Okay. So ideal companies have 10 to 50 employees. Do they have a certain tenure? Have the companies been around for a while or certain
But I'm
industry?
focusing more on construction companies, manufacturing,
Construction,
and healthcare.
manufacturing, and healthcare. And notice I have a spelling problem, but ChatGPT doesn't care because it's got me. It fixes me. Okay, so this is still going. It's taken a while. So let's just start by giving it the research that we have, and we'll add on the other research. Okay, so
Okay.
now I put all of the perplexity research and look right away. Let's build a target market analysis and a laser focused ideal client persona that you can use effectively to sell supplemental insurance to. So here's your industries: construction, manufacturing, healthcare, business size, business needs. So they want to improve employee retention. That's a big one. They want to enhance their current offerings, address rising healthcare costs, and compete for labor against larger firms that are offering these benefits. Does that sound like spot on?
It actually does, especially with
Perfect.
the employee retention part
Perfect.
that needs to be coming
Pain
up.
points: can't afford to provide comprehensive health benefits. Employees often face high out-of-pocket expenses, high absenteeism from injury and illness, and recruiting skilled workers in a competitive and expensive, right? So here's the opportunity insights. These sectors have higher risk for
Hmm.
injury or illness, making supplemental insurance highly relevant. So good job. Employees are more financially vulnerable and would value income protection. Employers are seeking cost-effective ways to show they care, and employers often overlook voluntary benefits. By the way, I'm going to copy all this, and you're going to be
Okay.
getting a whole list or a whole, document with all of this. Bless you. Here
Thank you.
is your ideal client persona. Why is this important? Because every time you make content, every time you pick up the phone, this is who you're speaking to, right? So Mike Ramirez, he's the either owner or operations manager of a commercial construction building, right? And now that we have operation manager, what does that also tell us? Tells us that we can go into like Apollo and create a list in your area of all owners of construction buildings or construction companies or operations managers at construction companies, right? So now we know exactly who to target, and we can even set the parameters for annual revenue between 3 to 7 million within Apollo, right? So we know exactly what kind of lead lists we need. This is their business profile. Here's the motivation, pain points. Okay, so now it's asking us, so let's go see what's happening here. It usually doesn't take that long, but that's okay. So now we're going to go. So you're going to see me speak into ChatGPT. So I know you'll often hear people say, oh, it's the prompt, it's the prompt. I'm going to disagree. I think there's a place and time for prompting, but I think for these large language models, what they really need is our communication, our ability to communicate. So I'm just going to brain dump. So check this out. Look at how I do this. Great. Now what we would like to do is we would like to create a sales strategy with a sales cadence, and it's an omni-channel approach. So even though some of these business owners are not going to be on LinkedIn, we still want to incorporate a connection on LinkedIn. We want to incorporate a phone call. We want to incorporate an email. We want to incorporate a video sales letter. And we want to also incorporate dropping in and dropping off maybe some bakery goods or something. So taking everything we have, please create a strategy with a 7 touch point campaign that incorporates all of those things.
Perfect.
See, girl, you don't have to make this up. You can just have AI. Look at this 7 touch omni-channel sales cadence.
And you made a really good point, because what I'm noticing when I'm calling, a lot of these business owners, even the HR directors, don't have a presence on LinkedIn.
Right. Right. And that's just certain industries, but does that mean that you don't show up on LinkedIn and sing about this all day long? No, you absolutely do. And we're going to do that. We're going to create some content pillars for you and some ideas because you're amazing at creating content. You already have a great following on LinkedIn. This is just your reinvention. That's all. That's all.
So long, Violet. Oh gosh.
Yeah, but it's like riding a bike. You're going to get right back in there. Okay, so here there's a LinkedIn connection, then touch point, there's an email. Look at this. I know how hard it is to retain skilled employees in construction, and especially when big companies offer flashy benefits. But here's the thing, most workers don't need more insurance. They need the right kind. I freaking love that. I work with owners like you to help protect your crew with supplemental insurance that fills the gap without hitting your bottom line. And so this is the first email and see how it's saying here's a 90-second video breaking it down. I wouldn't do that. So, because remember, when you send a video on that first email, it'll go into spam, right? So what I like that first part, and I would simply have a CTA like, I'm going to be in your area on Wednesday. Like I would decide on one field day a week, right? And just go in, whether you say that again.
At 3, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday are my field days.
Oh, okay then. So that's a lot, but I love that you're out in the field and connecting with business owners. So you let them know like here, right? So with AI, like it will create like 80 to 90% of it. But what I'm going to recommend is that first email, take out that video and just add, I'm going to be in your neck of the woods on Wednesday next week. Would love to stop by, bring some treats for your crew and just say hello. That's it, just letting them know. So then there's phone call. Let's see here, just wanted to see if it made sense to talk about it. This is Okay, so we're going to change this up. Hold on.
Okay.
Okay, so we cannot put a video in the first touch point. In fact, what we want in the first touch point is more of a, I like what you have as the email, but instead of here is a 90-second video, let's have a call to action to, I'd love to chat with you. I'd love to see if this is something you've ever thought about offering your team. I'm going to be in your area, in your neck of the woods next Wednesday, or, have that be fillable.
Mhm.
Would love to just drop in, bring some goodies for your team and say hello. So then the next touch point would be the day before she's going in the field. And it's like, hey, just wanted to let you know I'll be there tomorrow. I'm excited to connect with you. And then maybe at that point, there's a video. And that video, we need a video sales script where it's really just she starts with the pain. Like, are you finding it harder than ever to retain talent? Well, I have an opportunity that is not going to cost you anything and it's going to really allow you to retain top talent, attract top talent, and offer more benefits to the team that you already have. I'm going to be dropping in tomorrow, something very short and sweet, like a 30-second video to give them a face to the name and let them know that you're going to drop in and drop off some goodies for them. Then the next touch point is actually going into their business, right? So that's the third touch point. And whether she sees them or not, that's the third touch point with baked goods or something. The fourth touch point is a follow-up. So now that could be a personalized video, or it could be like maybe there's some marketing pieces that we can send or something. And, the whole goal is to take it from they don't know who she is to they met her and they either are like, listen, I already have this. That's, so those are C leads. I'm open, but it's not a good time. Reach out in 3 to 6 months. That's a B lead. And then what we're really looking for are those A leads that are like, you know what? I have heard about this. Let me look into this. And then the call to action is let's set up a call or let's set up a meeting. I'll come over and I'll show you what this would look like for you. So that's what we're really trying to create here. So did you notice how I just talked to it like it's like my assistant or something? Like, right? Like that's the large language model. So here we go. We asked it to tweak it. I'm going to be in your neck in the woods and would love to stop by, drop off some treats and say hello. No sales pitch, just a quick intro. And thank you for what you do. Right? So again, Natasha, I'm going to send you this and you're going to tweak it until it's a hell yes. But right now, what we're trying to create is if you're thinking about construction, we're trying to create the frame,
Okay.
right? Like the
Yeah.
foundation with the framing and then
Hmm.
tweak it as we need to. So here's this next one, reminder email with a short VSL. And then touch point 3, in person, drop in, right? Touch point 4, follow up email. And if you want, create a personalized video for them. That's where you're going to be using Dub, right? And
Yep.
then the following one, that's when you call them. So I would wait to call them. You're calling them
Okay.
up front. They don't know who the heck you are.
Right. So it's super cold.
So it's too cold, girl. It's too
Yeah.
cold. And the modern consumer, that just doesn't work. Here's where I want you to be excited. Anytime I see somebody having field days where they're combining old school with new school, I see success, and I have clients that keep promising me, like, if they're not going out doing these field days, then I'm having them host an event and inviting people to these events because nothing works better than face to face.
Sure.
Nothing. But for you to just go face to face without these systems in place, without these systems and processes and templates and knowing what's next, you're going to
Yeah.
go straight till burnout. You're going to work too many hours. So when you're in the field, I want you to give yourself 5 to 6 hours in the field, not 8 hours. It's too
Okay.
much. And I know you're going to be working from 5 in the morning till 9 at night, and you're going to be burnt out in a few months. That do not continue to make the same mistakes, girl. That's you need to preserve your energy. The
Yes,
days you're in
ma'am.
the field, give it your best 5 hours, fine, maybe 6. but don't you dare go out for 10 hours because you're going to burn all your energy for that day, the next day, and the day after,
Okay.
right? So final touch point 7, it's a final video like, hey, it sounds like maybe this isn't a good time right now. If you don't mind, I will just follow up with you in 3 to 4 months. This is my territory. This is all I do. This is what I talk about. I'd love to educate you. And if anything changes, here's a link to my calendar.
Perfect.
How does that feel?
It feels more tangible because
Yes,
right now I just feel like I was just, you know, wing
I do
flapping
know.
with all these cold calls. I mean, you know how it is. You know, did about 94 calls yesterday, and I didn't book not one
That's just
appointment.
silly. That's you're selling like it's 2007.
Yeah,
And I'll be the one to tell you it's 2025. It's
channel
2025.
5.
That's right. Keep it live on Channel 5 in
Channel 5.
2025.
Yes.
But so let's go further. I want to do one more thing for you. What I would like to do is create a few content pillars for you and have some maybe some hooks in there. So let's see here. Let's see what happens. This is amazing. Thank you so much. What I would like to do now is create some content pillars for that last sales enablement piece. And that is Natasha showing up on social media, on LinkedIn, in her thought ownership as an expert in insurance, an expert in supplemental, an expert in helping small businesses get to the next level. And so what I need a content strategy with the content pillars and 5 hooks for each content pillar. And while this is thinking, let's go see what happened with Storm. Uh, yeah, I figured. I'm like, something feels off. So I will redo the research just so you have it, but I'm happy with where we're getting with this. So here's your content strategy. So your goal is to build trust with small business owners in construction, manufacturing, and healthcare.
Yep.
Educate without jargon on the power of supplemental, inspire action by showing what's possible, and differentiate yourself as someone who shows up, not just sells. So here's the pillar recommendations: business owner pain points and realities, right? So like if you're a business owner, you're not just managing a business, you're caring for families, for futures and Friday paychecks. Like I love that. You know, when was the last time you had a sick crew member and it set your whole week back? I mean, these are relatable things that someone in construction would really identify with. So I love
Mhm.
that. Business owner pain points, then the power of supplemental insurance without being boring, right? So supplemental insurance is the secret weapon your crew doesn't know they need yet, right? Like I love this. This one benefit covers the gaps your current plan won't touch. So that's another one. Stories
Mhm.
from the field. So real, relatable stories that bring the mission to life. Now, you're new here, right? But there's, I'm sure, success stories within Colonial that you can share. Like, you know, like, hey, this business owner, here's how much they saved, here's what they did, right? And what I didn't realize, these are the hooks. So they're giving you the pillars: owner
Mhm.
empowerment and leadership. And I love that because I feel like this already aligns with you. Like you already share very empowering messages. Now you're just going to, you know, good leaders don't just pay people, they protect them. Retention isn't a salary issue, it's a security issue. Like, look at how great these are. And last but certainly not least, your story. So, your why, your unique story. I didn't grow
Mhm.
up around privilege. I grew up around people who worked hard and still struggled, right?
Yep.
Anxiety taught me how to anticipate problems. Now I use that gift to solve them. So,
Oh,
it's
I really,
your story. Go ahead.
no, I really like that.
Awesome. And so they even give you a posting cadence. Do they say 7 times a week? No.
Mhm.
They say 2 to 3 times a week on LinkedIn. Mix of text,
Okay.
carousel, or a short video. And that's it. So I'm going to
Well,
just stop share really quick. So in that short time, like less than 30 minutes, We created a target market analysis for you for your supplemental insurance. We're now super clear on who your ideal client is. It's not just every small business owner, it's very specific from a revenue perspective, from a team member perspective, and an industry perspective. We created an ideal client persona based on that, did a ton of deep research. So everything we came up with is based on the actual research. Then we created a sales strategy with a cadence for you that includes an omni-channel approach of LinkedIn, video sales letter, regular emails, phone calls, and going out in the field. And then we created a content strategy with content pillars and 5 hooks for each of those pillars with a recommended cadence of 3 times a week. We did all of that in less than 30 minutes.
Yes, we did.
That's the power of AI in sales. Have you used it in that way before you spoke to me today?
Oh, just a touch more so the research part, but the research was very surface. I'm going to be really honest. And that's only because I just leveraged ChatGPT and a little bit of Microsoft Copilot, but I didn't take it a step further as far as doing a sales strategy or a cadence or anything like that. So you took it to a whole completely different level, let me say.
Well, not only that, we also didn't we didn't ask ChatGPT to make it up out of their, like
No.
out of the sky. We did actual deep research using Perplexity and took that and then fed it into ChatGPT, a custom GPT that's been trained on sales copy. So
Okay.
that's the biggest difference too. Yes, we then once you have that, you have everything. So what I want you to walk away with from here is I don't want you to have any anxiety about your sales because you are a rainmaker, and with AI and your expertise and your experience and your passion and your grit, you got this. You got
Thank you.
this. Use AI as your co-pilot in everything that you do and start with that research. So I'm going to send you the research. I'm going to send you everything that you need. And that way you're no longer going to have any kind of anxiety or fear around any of this.
Thank you so much. This
You're
helped
welcome.
me
You
take
are
the edge off.
welcome. Yay. All right, friends, that's all we have for you today on the Gen X Network. If you found value in this video, if this was helpful for you, make sure you subscribe and share and hit that bell so you never have to miss another video from the Gen X Network. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you, Natasha, for being our brave guest and being our example of what is possible, friends, with
Yeah, this is awesome.
AI
Thank you.
in sales today. Thank you guys. I'll see you next week.